Hello, dear Cancer, and happy birthday. This is Gwendolyn. Welcome back to the channel, or if it's your first time here, welcome. This video is going to be a monthly Tarotscope for Cancer for July, and I just want to wish all you Cancerians a happy birthday, whether you had a birthday in late June or it's coming up here in July. I have a lot of friends who are Cancers, and my mother was a Cancer, so I have a special affection for all those Cancers out there. So, a lot of things going on this month. We have a new moon in your sign on July 12th. We have a full moon in your 8th house in Aquarius, and it's a total lunar eclipse. The partial solar eclipse is going to be at that new moon too, so there's lots going on this month. And couple things that are going on, projects I'm working on, or new things that I'm doing are, I'm going to be starting a Kickstarter for my old Hollywood tarot deck. And so keep an eye out for that. I will be putting a link below when it's live. So if you're interested in getting a copy of that, this is what the cards are going to be looking like. I'm basing it on old Hollywood images, but I'll talk more about that at the end of the video. And also, I'm doing a special promo for the first week of July. I'm going to be offering 3-card readings for $10. That's $5 discount, 30% discount from their regular price of $15. So again, I'll talk more about that at the end of the video, but if you want to check out or get one of those, I think I'm going to be doing 25 of them until they run out for the first week of July. So I'll talk more about that again at the end of the video. But this first new moon in July, July 12th, in your first house, Cancer, it's going to be kind of a powerful one. It's a partial solar eclipse. And the degree that it's at, the Sabian symbol says it's for Cancer, and it's a prima donna singing. So this one is charged with a lot of things. It's opposite Pluto in retrograde, so there could be some control issues, issues of like domination, or it may bring up things that control you, like addictions, or like old emotional traumas. This is going to be a very intense month for you. And it can be very powerful and very good, Cancer, but it's going to be very deep, very profound is what I'll say. This new moon in your first house of identity is really going to give you some insight to a new you that's coming about, because new moon is a good time to begin something new, especially in terms of your identity or self in the first house. And with this new moon opposite Pluto retrograde, it may bring up something from the past. It may bring up something that has to do with, again, just domination or control. Pluto, I always use the image of Pluto as a volcano. So there's a volcano that's opposing this partial solar eclipse. And that's good because it brings things out of the depth and brings them up for release. But what I look at volcano energy as is that it tends to destroy everything in its path. Like we see that going on in Hawaii right now. The magma is coming up from the earth. And as it destroys things, it also creates new fertile land for new things to grow. So I'm really seeing a new you developing. And with the full moon in your 8th house of transformation and rebirth on July 27th, there's a real period between July 12th and the 27th for a rebirth, Cancer, for you. And I can see that it may have to do with bringing old, deep, buried stuff to the surface, because Pluto is opposing it, the sun and the moon on July 12th. And then also, I'm actually getting goosebumps as I'm talking about this because it's so profound for you. And then, and Pluto is about deep stuff. And then the full moon, July 27th, in your house, in your 8th house of rebirth and regeneration, which the Sabian symbol for 5 degrees Aquarius is a council of your ancestors. It's just like there's deep stuff coming to the surface. So you have a chance, Cancer, between July 12th and the 27th especially, to do a lot of deep work. The full moon is going to be a total lunar eclipse, and it's going to be the longest one this century. It's going to be like an hour and 23 minutes. And it's the blood moon in your 8th house of, you know, death and rebirth, renewal. A lot of shedding of old skins and sort of like growing a new skin, becoming a new you. I'm just saying you may want to do some intentional work about who you want to become, Cancer, because you really, it's really reminding me of the story of Persephone, where she goes down into the depths of hell and becomes Hades' wife, Pluto's wife, actually. Same character, different names, different, you know, Greek and Roman. But then she comes up to the surface, and when she comes back to Earth, she's a new person, and she creates spring. You know, she creates life back here on Earth. That's when everything blooms, when she returns to her mother. So you've got some Persephone archetypes going on between July 12th and July 27th, Cancer. Deep, deep, powerful stuff. It's sort of like going down into the depths of the volcano and coming back out and having new life. It's really profound. Anyway, that's enough of me talking about the sky and the archetypes, but it's interesting stuff going on for you. Also, be careful around July 12th with that new moon. There's potential for some ego battles going on. There's, you know, Pluto opposing Sun and Moon in Cancer, but there's also a trine, a grand trine in Earth. So you can either get caught up in the ego battles that are, you know, in that opposition, or you can just be very grounded and connect with Earth energy. That's really going to help you stay out of whatever drama's going on stage. The Sabian symbol for the degree that Cancer's at for that new moon is a prima donna singing. So it can either be very dramatic, or you could be like the audience member that's just watching it happen and staying grounded in your chair and observing things. So that's what's going on in the sky. Let's see what's going on for Cancer in your birthday month, this very transformative month for you of July. Opening the month with rapid communication, things happening quickly, things 80 to 90% lined up, new information, new news. Some of you may be getting a piece of news that unlocks something for you. Or if you've been putting something towards a project, it's rapidly approaching completion. This is sort of like the point at which the water boils. If you've been putting effort into something, it may look like nothing's been happening, but then it can happen very quickly with Eight of Wands. It's also Cupid's love arrows. So it may be that at the beginning of the month, you are hit by some love arrows, Cancer. Really nice energy, fresh, lively energy for you at the beginning of July. Loving that. And then you've got Seven of Cups, which may mean that you have lots of options. You may be getting, you know, approached by several different admirers, or be putting your attention towards several different things. I often call this card, Seven of Cups, the Las Vegas card. It can mean sometimes having rose-colored glasses towards things, but it also means having lots of options and just making a good choice based on reality, not on fantasy. So when I see this card, I always say do your due diligence, do your research, make sure your choices are good, because things are going to happen quick here at the beginning of July. And I see too, you know, things are stable at home. Some of you may be just really happy with your home life, and for Cancer, there's nothing better than that. Your home is your castle, Cancer. Your 4th house energy, and this is 4 energy, which is the home or the castle, as you can see here. This is a joyous celebration. This is festivity. This is sort of like throwing a party at your house. It's often a card of marriage, and this is the 1111 card. So it could be that you're coming together quickly with someone. You know, some of you may get a marriage proposal. Or Or it might just be a time of celebration, festivity, being at home, loving being in your home. Often, too, this is unexpected things and surprises. So be aware of that. Just really nice, beautiful energy for you here at the beginning. And then I see Justice in reverse. So there may be something that you're having a hard time rendering a verdict on, Cancer. If someone approaches you with a proposal or even a marriage proposal, you may be having a hard time deciding, what you want to do. With Justice in reverse, it's basically saying that you're having a hard time weighing the pros and the cons of something. Usually Justice takes the evidence at hand of the matter and balances those scales and comes up with a verdict that is true and just and in alignment with justice and the truth. So this is saying that you might have a hard time rendering a verdict on something. But I really like what's coming in, Cupid's arrows of love, new information, things happening swiftly, rapidly, having lots of choices. Sometimes be careful. This can be a card of excess, especially as paired with the devil here. So be careful of not overdoing it here. Some of you may be having early birthdays early in the month and might really go have a little excess. But mostly I just see you just having a nice time here at the beginning of July and actually having some nice choices and surprises, festivities, parties, that kind of thing. But perhaps some difficulty in making a decision on something, rendering a verdict. Maybe there's something that happens to you in the first week of July that feels unfair or unjust. But I do see you moving on from something. You might have a difficult time moving on from something. This is a Six of Swords, which is healing and recovery. And this is kind of where I'm seeing this new moon in Cancer coming up. This is definitely a Pluto card. I mean, this is the volcano card, right? This is the devil. This is all of control issues, addictions, things that have control over us that we give our power away to. This is lies, manipulation, believing in things that aren't true. Potentially it could be very passionate, so that's an option too. Devil can sometimes just mean passion. But with Six of Swords in reverse, there may be something that you're having a hard time moving on from, recovering from, healing from, and it's got its grip on you. You feel chained to it, Cancer. So I'm going to encourage you to really enjoy this beginning part of July because things are going to get real deep and profound right towards the end. You're having a hard time letting go of this thing. Whatever's coming up for you, this new, you might be having a hard time letting go of your definition of the old you. Some of you really are giving your power away or just feeling locked and chained to this old, this old trauma or this old depression or an old emotional set point. You're having a hard time moving on from it, recovering, healing from it with Six of Swords in reverse, and you're having a hard time letting go of it. These are this is really holding on to something, not wanting to let go, maintaining the status quo. And with Six of Swords in reverse, it's saying you want to heal and move on and recover from it, but man, it's tough. It's going to take you some doing to release yourself from the grips of it. That's what I'm going to say. And it's the work that's needing to be done this month, Cancer. But good times are ahead. You do get a wish at the end of that period, in the middle of July. Nine of Cups. For some of you, your addiction could be alcoholism, is what I'm seeing with Devil and Nine of Cups, because Nine of Cups can sometimes mean overdoing it, also with Seven of Cups. But Nine of Cups also means happiness and wish fulfillment. So this is saying, enjoy the buffet, enjoy the meal, enjoy the pleasures of life, but just don't overdo it. Don't let it go to a point of excess where it feels like it's chains around your neck. Just enjoy what is being put forth before you. Enjoy any love relationships that you're in. Enjoy times with your friends. Enjoy hobbies and pursuits that are fun and pleasurable for you. Nine of Cups means the banquet of life is in front of you, and this is happiness and wish fulfillment. So I do see a wish being fulfilled here. It's interesting too, because if you look at these, it's very interesting how these are lining up. We've got, this is a 9 card and this is an 11 card, but I don't know if you can see it here, but they look very similar head to head like that. So 9 and 11, there's something to do with something that felt unjust, but then it resolves into being a wish gets fulfilled. And also, you know, 6 of coins in reverse says that whatever was unfair or unjust, it looks like in the middle of the month, there's resolution to that. You get some sort of wish fulfilled. There's something that you like that happens there. And then at the end of the month, we've got 6 of Wands, success, reputation, career. This is success and victory. This is the person on the white horse coming in. You know, he's got the wreath of laurels of success and victory. I'm seeing this is the new you, Cancer. This is the person that gets released and becomes victorious, you know, from the chains of the devil here. He is, whether it's male or female, this is a card of success, reputation, fame, victory, all good things. And I'm really getting that this is you. So whatever happens that you need to do to challenge this ego, domination, power struggle, battle, I see you coming out smiling and happy, high on the horse, Cancer. So there may be something that you have to tangle with here in the middle of the month, right around that, again, partial solar eclipse July 12th, in your first house of identity. Once you release that, wish fulfillment, happiness, success, victory. I'm loving all of this for you, Cancer. There may be an air sign involved. That is Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius, and they're willing to fight for you. This is Knight of Swords. They'll go into a burning building for you. So if you have an air sign that's surrounding you, you know, you can lean on to them for support. They're charging out in front of your success. If you look at this, they're leading the charge for you to come walking in on your white horse and have success and victory. So air signs are really, really helpful to you. I'm also seeing this air sign is helping you cut away any, if you look at Devil and 7 of Cups, you know, this is addiction, this is fantasy, this is things that have got you in its grip. Again, Las Vegas card, things are too sparkly to be true. Things that may look good on the surface but end up hurting you or damaging you. This Knight of Swords is on your side. He can help you cut through all of that. So really, you really maybe lean on an air sign at the end of the month to help you, or if this is a mentor or a counselor or someone, some male, more likely, even it could be someone younger than you, who has that quick, incisive intellect and is willing to take action on what they think. They're going to really help you with that. And, you know, you look to them for insight, because they can see the childlike part of you, Cancer. This is Page of Cups in reverse. This is usually a water sign, Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer, and I'm reading it as you, Cancer. What is the childlike part of you that is upside down during the, the full moon in Aquarius? What is it that you need to transform or that you can release? Because I'm seeing that full moon in your 8th house, and full moons are times for release. And the blood moon, it's a total lunar eclipse for 1 hour and 23 minutes. It's the longest lunar eclipse of 100 years. So are there old childhood wounds that need to be released? I want to encourage you to let this fish jump out of this cup. Let it go. Let some old story go, Cancer. It's time for releasing that so that the new you can go forward free. And especially as it may have to do with parental relationships or love relationships, I'm seeing from childhood, from the past, you know, maybe from your teenage years, some of your initiating relationships, like whether that's with your parents or maybe your first boyfriend or girlfriend, your first love, maybe it really crushed you. Time to release that. And this blood moon is a really good time to do that, Cancer. Really powerful and deep stuff. And I see you kind of like waltzing through it, but it's sort of like there's a Buddhist image of the chortle ground where things are dark and it's like going into Hades. It's like going deep. And this full moon is in your 8th house of death and rebirth. But I'm seeing it as an opportunity for that sort of scorpionic, because 8th house, release of old childhood traumas. Really, really powerful time for that. And again, the Sabian symbol for this 5 degrees Aquarius full moon is, it's a council of your ancestors. So if you think back to what your grandparents were doing, what your parents did to get you in the position that you're in, what your grandparents did to get you in the current position you're in, the things that they did to allow you to be where you're at, you may need to release some things with forgiveness, Cancer, during this full moon in Aquarius in your 8th house. And there may need to be some rebalancing that's done, you know, giving and receiving. Forgiving in the same way that you've been forgiven, or giving as you've been given to. That's going to be helpful to you. So there's a lot going on here for July for you. I see it as a very intense, both in terms of joy and celebration and festivities, things coming together very quickly, but also deep work that can be done, and it can be really healing for you, Cancer. So enjoy the new you, enjoy your birthday, and if any of you are interested in booking one of those 3-card readings that I'm doing, I'm trying to make it really easy where you can just, I'll have a link, I think, up here on this top corner you could just send me your question, and then I will give you a video on it within 24 hours. So if you want to take advantage of one of those $10 promo 3-card readings, feel free to do that. The price will go back up to $15 after I've done 25 of them. So jump on that if you're interested in catching that promo price. And again, if you're interested in checking out my old Hollywood deck, I'm going to have that on Kickstarter. I've got some early bird promo prices for that, so you could pay less for it. I'm still working on it, so it won't be released till next spring, but I'll have the Kickstarter link down below when it's live. And if you like this reading, feel free to give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you'd like to get notifications of when my videos come out. And if you did like it and would like to share it with another Cancer, feel free to do so. Feel free to share it on social media. And as always, I just want to thank everyone so much for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful birthday month. Look what just fell out while I was shuffling the world. Enjoy your birthday, Cancer. Yours in the stars.